Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for following me on my travels and hearing my stories. So I'm just gonna pick up where we left off, which was after I got to Costa Rica. I got my rental car and then I started driving to my first location, my first destination, which the Airbnb that I got was in a little town called Orotina. And my true destination of where wanted to go visit is this conscious community called Alegría Village. And it's about 15 minutes north of there. And so but I drove to my Airbnb, got settled in, chilled. It was pretty late, so I just kind of unpacked some of my stuff, relaxed, and passed out. And then woke up the next morning, and I wanted to go into the town, into Orotina, and get some coffee and some breakfast before I went to the village. So I did just that. I actually found this really cute restaurant and got probably one of the best cappuccinos I've had. I mean, I don't want to say in my life because that's really bold statement, but it was really good and beautiful. And I was definitely the only person in there, which is amazing. I had the whole restaurant to myself. It was really cute. And and then I headed off and went to this village, and I I just wanted to go check it out. I'm off exploring to see what place vibes the most with me. What place I vibe with, and I got to, I guess, what would be considered the gate, except there isn't a gate. There's just like a little like house thing that the attendant would stand at, yeah, well, he stands at, but it's like not, when you pull in, it's not like right there. It's kind of like off to the side. So when I drove, I didn't even see it. And so I just drove like right through, and then I saw in the rear view, I saw like the guy come out to like probably stop and get my information, and but there was a car driving right behind me, and so he ended up stopping the car behind me. So I found out later that you actually cannot go into, I don't think, any of these communities without getting invited, without showing ID, without, I mean, in this case, you need a QR code. It was not okay that I just was able to go through, and I like did everything in my power to make sure that the this guy did not get in any trouble because I felt really bad. I mean, like, I really just didn't know, and he stopped that other guy. So anyway, I got in. I signed up for a tour, or I emailed someone about getting a tour of the community before I got there, but I never heard back. So my first thought when I was pulling in there, I was like, well, I guess I could take myself on a tour now. It's amazing. So I like drove in, and um very like nice homes, lawns, suburbia, community pool. It's called the Hive, where there's like a community pool and like tables and a little like outdoor kitchen and stuff. Like it's a place where people like congregate. And then there's this yoga shala, like couple levels or two levels. One that where they have like workout equipment, and then the top one is like the yoga deck, where they do all the yoga and workout classes. And then when you stand up there, you actually look down onto this incredible community garden. This is definitely the best part. It's so wow. The geometric designs of this garden were so impressive. The only regret that I have is that I didn't wait around long enough to try to talk to someone to talk to them about how the garden worked, like who maintained it. Um, does everyone in the community have access to it? How it works. Like I'm genuinely really, really, really interested in that, and I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody about that. So maybe I'll still email them and reach out to them and ask them now that I'm talking this through. because I really am curious. But um, I just walked around. I like walked around the garden because there's no one there, and I walked up to the yoga deck and I sat around, and then I made my way back to the hive where the pool was because I wanted to see if I could see someone, anyone, to like talk to them about, the community, like how they felt about being there, what they liked about it, what they didn't like about it. And when I got there, there was a table and it had like books and things on it. And I just like kind of saw like the books, but I saw an oracle deck. And I picked up the oracle deck, and it was really cool, like kind of not velvet. I'll just say velvet for because I don't know, like a brown box, and has this like really beautiful like kind of tree of life engraving on it. And I open up the oracle deck of cards, and it's a sacred trees deck. If you guys know me at all, I love trees. So when I saw this deck, I'm like, oh my god, so cool. So I just like picked a card for and I said I want to pick a card for my journey, and I picked the linden tree, and on it it says follow your heart. I, I was like, oh my god, this is literally the theme of this entire trip, was just follow my heart, follow my excitement. I was like, oh, amazing. And then I looked up to the side, and there is a sign that says gifts. What? I'm so happy. So it was like a free table. People just leave the things that they wanted to gift to the community, like a, give and take, give and take. So I took it as a give and take. So I didn't want to take without giving. So I took the oracle deck, and I actually left. I I don't know, I'm not sure if this was an appropriate gift to leave or not, but I had like a fairly new bottle of rapé, so I left it there. It was like, conscious community, someone here is bound to be into this, so I left that as my gift. And I have this incredible oracle deck of cards. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with it. It's amazing, and just made me feel really good. Of like, wow, this is this is why I came here. Like the community itself, I'll tell you a little bit more about, but because I went online, and because I wanted to see again about how I could maybe get a tour, talk to someone about the garden, and I saw that they had a calendar, and on the calendar they had a woman's night, like a woman's circle that night. And I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is a great way to meet people, is to go to a woman's circle, right? So it was like probably like 3 o'clock at the time, and the women's circle was at 6:45. So I had some time to kill. I ended up just going back to my Airbnb and just hanging out, taking a little nap, and then got changed, got dressed, and then just went right back. And I Wow, I can't remember how I got back in, but because I at the women's circle, which I'll tell you about, but I actually ended up getting a QR code then to come back the next morning, but I'll tell you about that. So anyway, I came back for the women's circle, and I was actually really pleasantly surprised. It was a really big group. I mean, coming from a tiny town where our women's circles are like 6 girls, 10 at the most, this was like 25. It was a really big, beautiful group of women. Conscious, I think that, and they are, I think, on, a healing journey of sorts. But I have a really good story for what happens next. So stay tuned and log in because it starts to get juicy.